Hi everyone, applications are now open for Aligned Dance Teacher Academy. So I'm going to be talking all about it today because I've been promising a video and it's time. So let me tell you guys, I have some notes on my phone if I'm looking down. Let me tell you guys about Aligned Dance Teacher Academy. So this is something that I've been thinking about for such a long time. I've been putting it together very carefully over the last few months especially, and it's for people who would like to teach dance in a non-traditional way. What do I mean by non-traditional? By non-traditional, I mean not working Monday to Friday, all afternoon, all evening, and then Saturday mornings or sometimes even all day. That's more of the traditional dance teacher model, and potentially either working for someone else or running your studio in that traditional way. Now, it's wonderful, and there are many schools and teachers out there doing it that way, which is great, but I believe that there's room for a few different types of dance teaching models and dance teachers and dance classes. And so for people who don't feel drawn to that way of doing dance teaching, then this program is going to prepare you, give you the tools, give you the mindset shifts, give you the support and accountability to create a dance teaching business in a similar way to what I have done. Now, not the same. Every single dance teacher has something very different and unique to offer. And so it won't be the same as what I do, but similar in the way that I set my own timetable. I only work 5 days a week. I only teach actually 3 days a week in terms of being in the studio and teaching my dance classes, because obviously I also am a coach. So that's my current model. I have mornings off because that's what works for me. I enjoy teaching in the evening. So I've set it up in a way that really complements my lifestyle. It gives me time to work on myself. It gives me time to enjoy my relationships. It gives me time to keep learning. It gives me time to do the things that I enjoy, like, cooking a nice meal at lunch, things like that. So this program is really for people who would like to do dance teaching in that way, in a different way. And as I said, there's room for all of the things, but if you are someone who wants to open your own dance studio the traditional way, this program is not going to be for you, because we're going to be talking more about flexibility, about how dance teaching can fit in with your lifestyle, how to also become a teacher who is able to create their own curriculum, who is able to basically attract people who are really drawn to your way of teaching, instead of putting yourself as a teacher into a pre-existing mold. This academy is really to draw out your uniqueness, your gifts, and give you the tools to ensure that your classes are going to be safe, they're going to be enjoyable, they're going to be really those classes that people come out of and they're like, that's awesome, I'm telling my friends. That's really what this is about. People who love it so much that without you even asking, they go and they recommend you to other people. And all of this in a way that fits in with your lifestyle, so that there's no burnout, so that you put your health first. Because I don't know about you guys, but personally, I want a dance teacher who is healthy, who's energetic, who still has a love for the dance form, who still has enthusiasm about showing up in each class. That's the type of dance teacher I am, because that's the type of dance teacher that I want. I hope that makes sense. So for me, it's so important that our dance teaching practice fits into the lifestyle that we want, a lifestyle that supports our mental health, our physical health, and also our social health, because those three all play into feeling really healthy as a human being. So that's who it's for. Now let me get into a little bit more of the details. So, ADT, which is Aligned Dance Teacher, so ADT Academy is a holistic program for current or aspiring dance teachers and movement instructors who are drawn to alternatives to the traditional dance teaching models. So this, you don't have to already be teaching, although you may well be already teaching. Maybe you've just started and you're trying to grow. Maybe you're teaching in someone else's dance studio and you're ready to break out and do this on your own. And perhaps you've never taught dance before, but you've got experience in dance and you've got skills in terms of communicating with other people, and you're someone who really enjoys the art of teaching. And so this is also for you, because basically what I'm not doing is I am not giving you a top-down model of how to, like, this is the curriculum that you do, this is the way that you set your classes up, this is how you do this. It's not that. So it's not a top-down, here's all the stuff, just go and replicate it. This is why it's a 6-month program, because for me it's really important that I don't just give you like the things that I've done. My idea and the way that I've set this academy and this program up is that you are getting the tools so that you can create your own curriculum, not one that I give you, right? This is how it's different. This is very much going to be tailored to each person in the academy, and we have group coaching sessions for that, which I'll explain about in a minute. But what I am so excited about is that I'm going to get to support you guys to become dance teachers who also feel confident in business and feel confident in giving themselves permission to create new dance experiences in a new way, in a more inclusive way. I hope that makes sense. Guys, as I go through this, as you can see, I'm just coming on and chatting to you guys. Leave me questions if anything doesn't make sense, or as I go through, if different questions come up. And of course, I will get back to you all in the comments. So, ADT Academy dance teachers do not only focus on student improvement, but also incorporate aspects such as community, self-expression, personal development, and confidence. So again, this is not the traditional dance teacher model whereby you are, for example, just training young dancers to get into dance companies, etc., and your main focus is them improving very specifically their movements, their artistry, etc. This is a little bit more of a, I guess, holistic dance teaching model whereby you also care about your students not only as dancers but as people. And I'm not saying that that doesn't exist in the traditional model as well. Of course it does, depending on the teacher and depending on which curriculum, etc. But for me, this is central. This is central, is seeing your students as part of your community, as seeing your students as whole human beings who are there not just because they want to dance, but they're there for some kind of transformation, like whether it's like growing in confidence, whether it's finding new people who they share something with and creating friendships, all of those kinds of things. For me, when I look at my students, it's so heartwarming where I see the friendships that have blossomed out of people who've come to my classes, who've met through my classes, and who have, felt comfortable enough in class to really be themselves, to experiment, to grow, and to transform not only their dancing but also who they are. And I know that lots of us have been through that journey ourselves also, and so it's part of that gift to then be able to share it with other people. So ADT Academy is an encouraging community of dance leaders who are creating more diverse movement experiences for people in a way which aligns with core values and a liberated lifestyle. So it's a group program. This is not one-to-one coaching. I do that as well, but this is not that. It's a group program, and part of the magic of being in group programs, I've personally been in group coaching programs and I've also done one-to-one coaching, and they both have their place. But the wonderful thing about group coaching programs is that you get to be in a community of people building the same things as you, and it's so powerful. We're going to be spread all over the world, but it's so powerful to come together online, to support each other, to see also different ways that people are doing things in the dance world, and to take inspiration for each other, and to really feel not alone, because I know that the journey of entrepreneurship, the journey of setting up your own things kind of by yourself, even if you have a partner, that can still be lonely. It can still be lonely. And so being in a community, especially if you're in a transition to becoming a dance teacher, or to perhaps leaving a studio where you've been employed to then doing something yourself, or if you're at the moment when you're ready to really grow your dance teaching business, all of those transitions can feel so much smoother and so much less stressful and so much more exciting and expansive when you are in a community. And I know that because I've done it both by myself. Before I had learned so much more about coaching and about getting support, and I thought I had to do everything myself, and I had to prove myself, and I had to figure everything out on my own, and I really took so much longer than I needed to. It was more difficult than it needed to be. I cried more than I needed to. Various things that now in retrospect I see that had I been willing to accept help, could have been much smoother and more enjoyable. So now, having been through other programs where I have allowed myself to be supported, where I have allowed myself to have help and accountability, and be inspired by other people doing similar things to me or having a similar mission in the world, it's night and day. I mean, I would choose that now every single time, and I do choose that again and again and again. And so while I support you guys through this program, know that I also have support. I have a one-to-one coach, one-to-one mentor, and she holds space for me in the same way that I hold space for you, and I think it's really important that we do that. Not all the time, but there are times, especially through a transition, when it's important. Okay, so let me go through what we are going to be specifically focusing on in this program. So, sorry guys, I'm just getting to my notes. So, as I said, it's a 6-month program, and let me explain a little bit how this works. This academy has its doors open each month. So each month, new members are allowed to join the academy. But the program is always 6 months. So these 6 modules, everyone will do, but they will just do it in a different order, and it doesn't matter what order they're done in. Sometimes we think really in a linear way, but actually you're going to come back round to each of these things as we do the group coaching anyway, and so the content just goes one topic per month. I'll explain in a second a little bit more when I tell you what they are. So 1 month, I'm not going to say month 1 because like I said, this will depend in what month you join, but one of the modules is teacher integrity. So this is accepting your limits, really, really important. Teacher integrity is knowing what you're wonderful at, what things you actually are not equipped to do, and perhaps you wouldn't even enjoy doing those things. So accepting your limits, but offering amazing classes and creating a safe and welcoming environment based on your skills and your gifts, in your unique combination of those things. Another module, business balance. Gain confidence in the key aspects of business so that more people can benefit from your dance classes. This is something that I actually resisted for a while because there was something off-putting for me about the word business for a little while in relation to dance. But once I fully embraced it, I realized that when I set up my business properly, and when I view myself as someone who actually is running a business, that's so much better for my students and for my clients. It's so much better because I put the systems in place that support them because I take my business seriously. But some of the skills we don't necessarily get taught, and some of the skills are slightly different to the skills of being a dance teacher. And so for me, it was really important to put in a module about the business side of it, because that's the thing that's going to take a lot of the stress out of it when we actually set up systems to support ourselves and our businesses, rather than always being in the mode of like setting things up and organizing things and creating new things and onboarding people and answering emails and putting marketing and da-da-da-da. There are so many aspects to it, but when we actually really get to grips with that and we break it down for what we need for our specific business, because there's a lot of generic business advice out there, and while some of it is good and some of it's not so good, each person will need to know how to choose what works for them. And so again, that's why I love a small group program, because we're going to have time to actually figure out what those things are. Another module, emotional mastery. So create emotional safety to be fully you and learn tools to deal with criticism and misunderstandings. I cannot tell you how big this one is, and I think if you haven't ever worked for yourself, then you might not even take this into consideration, the criticism thing and the people just not understanding. But this is the reality of running your own business. This is the reality of being a dance teacher who's doing things in the non-traditional way. Some people who are doing things in the traditional way are really supportive of what we do as independent dance teachers, doing things slightly differently. Some of them are not supportive. Some of them think that the only way that dance should ever be done is the way that they do it. And so it's really important to build the necessary skills to have confidence in ourselves, know that we're doing things with integrity, know what our bigger mission is, and actually be able to deal with the emotions that come with doing something a little bit different, that actually come with doing something that is in alignment with us, and that not everyone necessarily is going to understand immediately. And that was the same thing with adult ballet, for example. There are still some people who don't quite understand the concept of why adults would dance ballet. Obviously, everyone who's here, we get it, and we're in good company. But for me, it's one of the biggest skills, learning to work with, harness my emotions, and also learning to self-soothe through the difficult moments, through the criticism, through the misunderstandings, and stay true to my mission, stay true to my students, and stay true to my clients, while always striving to be better myself. And so this, I knew, had to be a core module. It's not the shiny stuff, but it's one of the most important things, actually. And this is true, by the way, not just for business, but it's true for relationships, romantic relationships. It's true for many, many things in life, that when we really have mastery of our emotions, and that does not mean ignoring them, pushing them aside, using other things to distract ourselves. Sometimes we use dance for that, but actually learning how to sit with them, master them, understand what those things mean for us, and how to come out of them positive and strong and focused. For me, it's been one of the biggest things. I can't say enough about it, but I'll stop there because I've probably already spoke for a few minutes on just that one topic. So, another module, leadership. We first lead ourselves with direction and compassion. When you know where you're going, others will follow. So whether we like to think of ourselves as leaders or not, as a teacher, any kind of teacher, you are a leader, right? You are leading those students somewhere, and it can be different places. It doesn't always have to be you're leading students to improvement. Sometimes it's you're leading students back into themselves. You're leading students back into their body. You're leading students into more confidence, or you're leading them through self-expression. But we're always, as teachers, leaders also. And in a bigger sense, because this academy is for people who really basically believe in the mission that dance can be for anyone who wants it. It's not an elite thing. It's not a thing only for the super talented. That actually dance can be a welcoming place. Dance can be an inclusive place. And so even by being in that camp with me, then we're leaders. We are leaders in the dance world, because not everyone sees dance in that way, and so we're allowed to lead this movement at the same time as other people are leading other dance movements. And so for me, leadership had to also be one of the core modules in this academy, because once we understand how to lead ourselves with compassion, how to lead ourselves through this journey of becoming the dance teacher that we really want to be and we know we can be, then you become a much better leader for other people. So it's really both sides of the coin, right? It's how to lead ourselves and then how that translates into leading other people. Okay, 2 more, guys. So next one, lifestyle design. This is fundamental. It's one of my favorites. These ones are perhaps more fun and shiny, but they're all important. So lifestyle design. Identify what success in life feels like for you and gain tools which will serve you long after the program. So I've mentioned this before, but this academy is not about a top-down approach where I tell you how to live your life. That is ridiculous. Like, I laugh so much because there are things like that out there that tell you you have to do it like this, or this is how you should be living your life, or this is how you should be teaching dance, or etc, etc, etc. And while we can for sure listen to those things and we can learn from them, we can take the bits that work for us, to me it makes no sense to tell someone else how to live their life. You know what you want from your life, and in moments we don't know, and that's okay too, but you have the answers within. And actually sometimes it's just a case of asking the right questions, and then we gain clarity again. And so for lifestyle design, this is why what I was saying before about we are not slaves to dance. Dance is a gift. Dance is something that we should be grateful for all the time, but we're not a slave to dance. That's my view. Other people won't agree with that, but in my academy, the way that we do things here is that you are not going to be a slave to dance. You are not going to sacrifice your health to dance. You are not going to sacrifice your loving relationships with potentially a partner or your family to dance. You are not going to sacrifice your kind of mental health to dance and feeling bad about yourself and feeling like you're never good enough and berating yourself and feeling down about yourself. I don't do things that way. There have been moments through my career when each of those things has touched me, where giving up physical health or giving up mental health or giving up social health, I've done all of those things in different moments for dance, and I won't do it anymore. And I realised that I never needed to. I never needed to. Dance will love us. Dance will be there for us, whether we look after ourselves or not. And so I prefer to come at dance from the position of we look after ourselves first, we look after our health first, because then guess what? We get to dance more, we get to dance longer, we get to dance with more joy, we get to dance better. And so lifestyle design is fundamental to being, in my opinion, a good dance teacher, because you then bring that same energy and joy and enthusiasm to your students. Dance doesn't become a kind of negative cycle of beating ourselves up or of feeling that we have to really prove ourselves in order to be worthy of dance. No, in my opinion, everybody is worthy of dance, and then there are people who are going to take it to amazing heights, and there are people who are going to enjoy dance in a different way. And for me, all of those things are allowed to exist. So that's really important, that we understand actually how we want to set up our lives, how dance teaching is going to fit into that, so that we feel supported and we feel like we enjoy it, and we don't get to the point, like I said before, of losing our passion for dance or feeling burnt out or getting ill, etc. I mean, you know, every now and again that will happen, but in general, like for me, guys, how long have I been teaching in Madrid now? Because I've been teaching in different places. So I set up my Madrid classes over 3 years ago, and I've never ever missed a class, and probably there are many other dance teachers out there who can say the same thing. But health for me is so important. It's the most important thing, because if we don't have health, how are we supposed to do the other things in life? And you know, I think as dancers we sometimes focus on the physical, but the emotional side of that is also super important, and the social side. Okay, we are nearly there with the program content. Last one, financial safety. We as dancers were trained to give. We must create balance by learning to receive financially and in other ways. I am so passionate about this. I'm so passionate about this because we are doing something important as dance teachers. We are doing something important. I don't care how many other people say like dance is just a silly little hobby, or dance is this or that. No, I know deep in my soul that dance is important for human beings. And if you guys have listened to my podcast, you know, you know about that. But dance is one of the fundamental human behaviors for many hundreds of thousands of years. It's so important. So I know that when I am providing something that is important to people, that's transformational for people, that allows people to bring meaning into their week, that is the thing that people look forward to, that deserves to be paid well. And at the same time, I choose to pay well the people who I use their services. And so this is like a positive cycle, right? Instead of being a vicious circle, this is a positive cycle whereby when I embrace financial abundance, I give more. Also to people who are doing similar good work, in my view, in the world. Okay, so for me this is a fundamental pillar. And also the fact that you can earn well as a dance teacher. Some people don't want to tell you that because they want you to keep working at their studio forever and be paid whatever they pay you. But you can earn well as a dance teacher. I have, at different times, because I have different work, right? So I have my dance teaching and I've got my coaching, but at the time, for example, that I was doing a little bit of teaching in the studio and I was doing a little bit of teaching online, I was working like not that many hours a week, and I was financially safe. I had enough money to pay for everything. I had money to also feel not just like all the basics, but also little treats and things that I loved, and things like choosing to do coaching programs myself, investing in myself, all through dance teaching. So I know it can be done. It's just making the choice that I'm ready to earn well through dance, and letting go of that belief that we can't or we shouldn't or we're not supposed to, or that you have to prove that you do dance just for the love of it and therefore you're going to not earn good money. That doesn't make sense. Stop proving that. We know you love dance. You don't have to prove that to anyone. Just prove it to your students through giving them amazing classes. That's the only proof we need, right? We don't need you to prove that you would do dance for free. We know you would, but just because you would do it for free doesn't mean that you then exchange your life, your energy, your time for free. Maybe you do some free workshops. That's cool too. I've done that as well. But you deserve to be financially safe through teaching dance, and it's possible. It's definitely possible. I've done it. I have many friends who are dance teachers who are doing it. It is doable for anyone here listening to this. You can do it. Okay, guys. So let me just go over a bit of the logistics. 6 months of coaching community. 3 evening sessions per month. So we have 1 week off. Every Tuesday, 3 Tuesdays a month, Tuesday evening for me. I'm in Madrid, so you can kind of figure out what time that's going to be for you, where you are. Each month is going to be one teaching/business training session, one mindset/embodiment training session, and then one group coaching call. So I've mentioned the group coaching call a few times. In the group coaching call, I am going to be there for specifically what you guys need, what's going on for you, what stage you're at, what questions you have, what support and guidance I can give you, what accountability I can provide. But it is your chance. It's almost like one-to-one coaching, but in a group, right? So this is not like content that I'm going to be sharing from my side. It's what do you need from me? So the group coaching calls are so important. I learned this when I did my last group coaching program last year, that everyone told me, oh, we love the group coaching, we wanted more of that. So we're having one a month in this program, and it's going to be amazing because I know how powerful it is to get specific advice, help, guidance, just listening as well, space holding for you and what you need and the things that you're trying to solve and the questions that you have. It's so powerful. So there's going to be one a month of those. And then of course we'll have email support. You can hear when you need me, and a private Instagram group for people in the academy. So all sessions are live with me, but I know that not everyone's going to be able to come to all the sessions. Totally fine. They're also going to be recorded. So if there's one Tuesday that you want to do something else, you can just catch up in the recording. And I think that's it in terms of the logistics. So price, I'm going to leave it in the description. I'll tell you why I'm going to leave it in the description. Because this is an ongoing academy, if you join now, you get the founder's price, right? You get the founder's price because you are going to be one of the first people into the program. And so I'm going to leave that price in the description because the price is going to go up as this academy goes on and as we develop and as it gets bigger, etc. So that's why I'm not going to say it. I'm going to put it in the description. If you're watching this a little bit later, then the new price will be in the description. And I'm also going to have the links to the application form. Guys, the application forms that I've received so far. So I launched the application forms yesterday. Right? I launched them yesterday. And already the amazing people who want to come into this academy, I feel so grateful. I feel so lucky. And it's so exciting because I have kind of different people at different stages. But like I said, these are tools. These are not like, this is how you do it, just copy this thing. No, there are tools that can be used by people at different stages as long as your mission is to create inclusive, fun dance classes in a way that aligns with your lifestyle and putting the health of you and your students first. So I already have applications from someone who has a lot of experience. She has just wonderful dance skills. She's amazing, and she is working for other people and she's ready to do her own thing. I have someone else who's doing part-time dance teaching, and she's ready to up the level. She's ready to take it more seriously. She's ready to branch out. I also have someone who is an adult dancer. She is just the wonderful, warm-hearted person. Obviously, you guys, I kind of know some of you as well because of Instagram, so I kind of know some of you as well. And she hasn't taught dance yet, but I know she is going to make an incredible dance teacher. So that's just 3 examples, but like all of these, if you resonate with any of them, you are welcome into this academy. It's not just for people who are at a super like high level already. Okay, what have I missed? I've probably missed a lot of things, guys. I was just flicking through. So please let me know in the comments what other questions you have. If you would like to join, I will have the application linked. If you think you'd like to join, but you have a few questions that I can't answer like in a comment, message me and we can set up a call and I can actually speak to you and you can ask me what you want. And I think that is it. So it's launching in May. I'll have all the more specific details in there. I wanted to come on and just give you guys a feel for it and why I'm excited about it. I am so grateful. I am so grateful for just the community of amazing people that I've had the joy of connecting with through Instagram and through YouTube, and also in real life in the dance studio. But I honestly am so inspired by you guys. You all have just a love and a passion for dance that is so important. It's so important in the world. And yeah, I feel so lucky. I cannot wait to be in this academy with some of you, to go on this journey together, to support you, to cheer you on, to help you, to provide you the tools, but ultimately you are making all the decisions and you are responsible for your own transformation, because you got it in you already. I know that for sure. Like, I just know. The people who've been called to this, you guys are amazing. So that's it, guys. I hope that more of you are going to come and join me. I'm sending you all lots of love, and I will see you very, very soon. Take care.